No. I'm bored and I was going to be doing maintenance on a knife anyway, so. And then I'm going to head to bed. There's no way I'm going to be streaming at 5 a.m. all the time. That is bullshit. I just want to be able to flick my Para 3 build. As for you, what do you think? I'm not tired? Sure, I appreciate you being here though. Believe it or not, I haven't slept since yesterday. Ooh. There is something going on with this build. What modification do we want to do? Ooh. That'll add more friction though. Maybe? We'll just go straight with the 3K. I don't know about you, but my autocorrect has been being a piece of shit lately. Like every time that I spell don't without an apostrophe, it says didn't instead. Shit like that, like it's obvious I'm trying to say don't, but it decides that didn't is the proper thing. I'm sure you love working with that stuff, Matthew. I hope that all goes well. Well, that's dumb too. Dude, it always does the stupidest shit at like the worst time. Dumb analogy, but like if you're trying to say I'm sorry and it says I'm salsa instead or some shit like that. I'm not saying that one from personal experience. I just think it's so fucking dumb. My worst one is it constantly says didn't instead of don't. So I don't have like a huge batch of words that it fucks up. But the one that it fucks up is like so easy to not fuck up. How often do people use howd like that? Don't get me wrong, I use that word. I do not use it often. I'm sure you'll hold on to that as well. The Godson's a little too pointy for me. Same thing with the Godfather. They're a little bit too pointy for the stuff that I do. I'm going to consider that good enough. Right there. Now we're going to take stop pin, lanyard barrel. Gimme. Fucking piece of shit. And swap out to the T10. Have you seen one of the ones with the sapphire PVD coating? Oh, dude, they are beautiful. That bright blue in natural sunlight is something else. If you haven't seen one in person, you have to. It's amazing. Any of the ProTech knives with the sapphire PVD coating, they'll just call it blue, but some people call it sapphire. I think on a couple of their listings, they're listed as sapphire. It's gorgeous. I just want my knife to be smooth. It's a Spyderco aftermarket build that I made. But yeah, it's supposed to be a para 3, but the only parts on it that are from factory are the scales. Everything else is aftermarket. And it's got issues. I recommend just buying a used one instead of trying to build your own with aftermarket parts. I promise you, the real deal's better. Q-tips. ISO. Okay. Now, do we need grease on this or not? Is the question here. Is it going to change the performance enough for it to be worth all the bullshit that I have to put up with afterwards. You want a Hawk Deadlock Pro Grease? Okay. Well, we'll try it with grease again. First, I want to see. I'm going to put it together without grease first and see if it's smooth. If it isn't smooth, we'll put some grease on there. Just a little bit, though. Don't get me wrong, it's a pretty good looking knife, and they're made like 40 or 50 miles from where I live. But they're like too expensive for what you get. I think they're an M390, and you can get M390 for less. I find Striders to be extremely overpriced. They just straight up aren't worth the amount that you're spending on them. Yep, Benchmade's overpriced too. You can get one used and make sure that it's real before you get it. Then they make good knives. They're just priced too high. Yeah, I think I'm just going to do this dry. If it's that smooth, then I'll be happier with it like this than I would be trying to fuck around with it. Oh, that needs to loosen up. One of the biggest giveaways with fake Benchmades is... Give me just a sec. I'm tuning this. I gotta pay attention. Okay, so I'll leave it like that to dry. One of the biggest giveaways for a fake Benchmade is if you feel the logo, and you can feel the logo, or you rub it against your shirt and it catches on your shirt or something like that. Because real ones, you won't be able to feel the logo at all. Any of them. The fake ones, they will catch on your shirt. They will you'll feel it. Run your nail against it and something shows up. I guess on these it does. Yeah, okay. I can see why it would do that. I'm going to look at this under the microscope real quick. So I guess the only ones that you can really verify are the ones with the non-coated blades. That one's real. I know this one's real. That one was a mini Adamas. Zoom in. Yeah. Mini Adamas, not the full size. Oh, don't give me that shit. Yeah, there we go. Yep, okay. So that's bare steel that we're seeing. There we go. So it's got a Cerakote coating. And then they laser engrave it down to where you get to straight steel. I don't see Cecil on here right now, which is kind of interesting. Well, I just said that I don't see him. So yeah, that's one of the coated ones under a microscope. The non-coated ones, funny enough, I actually have one of those too. Fucking hate this knife. Get your hands on it. It's always got fucking blade play every time. Every single one of this model that I've handled. That's the Osborne logo. It is laser engraved on top. And if you touch it with your finger, you won't feel it. That's the difference between a real one and a fake one when it comes to the non-coated blades. That is the biggest fake, or biggest giveaway on the fakes. Anyway, we'll go for another 9 minutes and then I'm going to end the stream. Short stream because I felt like it. Dropped this today. Yeah, an Osborne 940. Yep, I dropped my Sebenza on the Rock Pathway in the house. It landed on that right there. Oh, this one's real. I don't have a whole lot of fake knives. And if I do, I tell you guys about it before I start showing it off. Sebenza. Sebenza. But yes. Just put a sticker over it. Nah. I'll be honest, I bought it to use it, and dropping it, oh well. I don't really care. It had scratches on it before I got it. If I really cared, I'd have them re-glass blast it, but I don't, so I'll leave it the way it is. I don't know. I sold like 40 of them a couple weeks ago, and I haven't counted since. Sebenza. Nope. SE. I'd have more if they didn't cost so damn much. Don't worry, Lou. We know. We also got to keep in mind that it's not English. Sure. No, Buck makes some decent stuff. I don't think that any of their stuff is going to stand up to anything on the table right now. That's not true. That Osborne's a piece of shit. Just about every Osborne I've gotten my hands on sucks. And the reason why these things suck is because they all have blade play. Every single one that I've ever held, they all wiggle a little bit. And to get rid of that wiggle, you have to tighten the shit out of it to where it's no longer easy to open. So it's either easy to open, but you have blade play, or you can't open it, but it doesn't have blade play. This is $350. It's not even $300. Look, if you've been looking to get one of the carbon fiber S90V models, save up like an extra 50 to $100 and just buy a used one of these. You'd be better off with this than you would with this. Guaranteed. I got this one for $400, and then I had it re-glass blasted for another $50. So $450. Extra $100. It'll take you like maybe another month to save up for it, but it's worth it for the extra little bit of money. No, I'm fine with the 940. I just wish that they didn't suck. I'll be trying out some washers for it here pretty soon. By pretty soon, I mean sometime in the next year, I guess. I'm gonna get, so these have 9mm washers. They're 9mm wide with a 4.8mm hole in the middle. I'm gonna try one of those with 12.5mm instead of 9. So I'm hoping that with 12.5mm it will take up more space, but not too much, so that it doesn't have blade play anymore. The thing is, when you spend $350 on a knife, you shouldn't have to do anything to it to make it perfect. Or it should be good. Yeah, if this thing was anywhere near 300, I wouldn't have bought it. I got it for 120 plus tax, so like 128 or something. No, but I know how. I mean, it can't be that hard. Oh, sorry, I was thinking of when a door is sagging to one side. I know how to fix that. That sucks. Your door frame must suck too. Shouldn't be able to kick in a door. Life's going fine. Nothing super notable lately. The aluminum 940s. This one doesn't have a backspacer. It depends. You can get them for cheap. You can get them for expensive. Yeah, that sounds about right. 100 to 150. I'm not sure that I'd pay that much though. And the reason I say that is I live in Idaho where it gets to be cold as shit. And I've never had this issue until this year because I never really paid attention to it. Aluminum gets cold really fast. Titanium doesn't do that, but aluminum gets really cold. Yes, I live in Boise, Idaho. And my story was I had these aluminum scales on my Para 3 build, and they're fine. And then I went out when it was raining and like 20 degrees or something, and stuck my hand in my pocket to warm it up, and it was just fucking ice. These things are freezing in the winter. Yeah. Titanium would be... Carbon fiber is fine too. G10 is good. But aluminum's just out the fucking window when it comes to anywhere cold. It would be probably my last option. But then again, we're comparing to titanium here, fiberglass, carbon fiber, micarta. This actually hasn't been that bad. I don't know what it was about that Para 3. Up early. Well, haven't gone to sleep yet. Micarta's like, it's definitely not number one. Titanium's my favorite. And if it wasn't so damn expensive, I'd had more stuff in titanium as well. I think I'd pick G10 next, then carbon fiber, then micarta, then aluminum, and then steel. Maybe steel before aluminum, but there's just something about that fucking aluminum that it's just so cold. So cold. That's one of the things that carbon fiber, G10, and micarta just don't do. They don't get cold. It won't. Nope, magnesium's going to be cold as shit. It's not super dense. I think the denser the material, the warmer it is, if I'm not mistaken. I've never had a problem with G10 personally. So titanium is more dense than aluminum, but aluminum also has heat sink properties where it pulls heat away and then dissipates it very quickly. Titanium doesn't do it as quickly. Stainless doesn't do it as quickly as titanium does. But I'd assume that because magnesium is less dense than aluminum, it's probably going to get colder even faster. I think D2 is fine, it just never gets heat treated properly. Like, I doubt you've had D2 at like 62 to 63 HRC. At 62 or 63, that stuff's insane. But when it's sitting there at like the high 50s where everybody heat treats it to, you're not going to like it. I don't know what the 942 looks like. Give me a sec. I'll look it up. Yeah, there's something about D2 lately. D2 heat treats have been dropping in HRC. That'd be interesting. I wouldn't mind a reblade for that thing. The problem with it is the handle still sucks. Oh, a 940-2? Or no. Nope. I've never heard of 940 as a material. So it's basically one of these with aluminum scales, black aluminum scales, and 154 cm. No, thank you. Their 154 CM was pretty fire, but again, I don't play with aluminum anymore. I have no experience with Vosteed. None. 154 CM is my favorite steel. Don't get me wrong, there's better stuff out there, but for the price, it's kind of hard to beat. I don't know. ProTech uses a lot of 154 CM. Yep. I think that they're overpriced for that. But I also haven't looked at their heat treat numbers, so I wouldn't know. It is heavily dependent on their heat treat numbers. Rockstead high-end Japanese ZDP 189 knives. No, it's tougher than M390. It just doesn't hold an edge the way that M390 does. Back in the day, Benchmade heat treated their 154 CM to be really nice for sharpening. The fastest I'd ever sharpened a fully dull knife was a Benchmade Griptilian in 154 CM, and it took me 5 minutes freehanding. Vosteed isn't on my radar. It isn't. I'm looking after other shit right now. Mainly trying to buy and sell other things. Yeah, I've got a Griptilian. I'm not quite sure if I like it. The scales on it kind of suck. The Griptilian's about the only knife in their lineup that's worth the amount. It's 160. I think I've heard good things about the Quaken, but I don't have an opinion on it because I've never held one. As for 14C, apparently it has decent edge retention when you heat treat it at 61. I'm not going to compare it to anything else on the table, but this stuff was sitting at 61 and it's actually pretty dang good. Yeah, lately I'm a steel snob. So the steel does matter to me. And the reason why is because I do a lot of stupid shit, mainly cutting a ridiculous amount of cardboard. I just don't record that because it takes too long to set up. And if a steel won't hold an edge worth shit, then I don't want it. 15V was fine. Took forever to make that shit dull. Then I went and sharpened it again. Yep. Steel snob is the term. Well, this bottom one's MagnaCut, and I use it all the time. It's actually the second most I've ever spent on a knife, and heat treated at 63 to 64 HRC, it's a pretty good steel. But if you get it like below 60, it's not going to be great. Crewware is fine. I honestly haven't used it all that much. The problem with crewware that I've come across, specifically in my situation, is I've only had crewware on the Adamas and the Mini Adamas. And these things are thick as hell, and they suck at cutting just about everything. This is a beater knife. It's made for you to do stupid shit with, and that's about it. Now, you can get it with other I think tactical just means built for a specific purpose. So, yeah, I guess. Tactical means nothing to me. You know what I really want to try is cold bluing a blade. It also depends on what you plan on doing with it. If you're going to sit there and beat the shit out of your knife, I can understand you using crewware. But if you're not going to beat the shit out of your knife and you're just going to everyday carry that thing, high HRC MagnaCut, or if you really want to risk it, Maximate, you'll be fine. God, I can't wait to get an Arno Bernard. I need to get a fucking Orca too. That's what I've been looking at lately. They had a plain one on Arizona Custom Knives, and I want that shit so bad. I don't know if it's still around though. Oh, it is. Oh, no, it's sold. $445. And the moment I get one of these, I'm probably going to sell this one. Yeah, I sharpened it so that I could apply grease in specific areas. But God, I just want a plain one. I don't want anything special. I don't want... I don't want an inlay. I don't want anything. Just plain titanium. Because I don't need carbon fiber to be happy. It can sit here and be just like this. Yeah, it's purple. Purple titanium. Oh, I love it too. It's been a great knife. It's just slightly off on dimensions for me. I was hoping that it was going to replace another knife I'm trying to get rid of. I've got a Koenig Arius that I've been trying to get rid of for a few months in S90V, and they're just hard to move. So the plan was I get this thing so that I don't feel bad about not having that thing. It's priced high. Let me double check what it's sitting at right now. It is up there though. It's also heavy. That was before they did milling on the inside. It's more than 300. I think it's sitting at around 1,000. I need to verify that though. It is at $9.99 right now on Blade Binge. I can give a slightly better deal than that directly, but not a whole lot better. If you can find one, sure. It's a Koenig. Gonzo, what's up? No, it's right about that price point of $1,000 if you wanted a deadlock. If you could find one used or something. It'd be like 13, I think. And no, we are not in a great economy at the moment. I am hopeful that as gas prices continue to go down, which they are actually lower now than they were this time last year, which it's about time that I'm not being lied to. Maybe prices for other things will start going down too. But knowing about corporate greed, I highly doubt it. Oh, your gas is less expensive, but just because it costs us less to ship things doesn't mean we're going to drop the price of them. Are there jobs at Koenig? Maybe. Yeah. You need to move. I'm not saying you need to move here. I'm just saying you need to move. Here's the thing. There are employers that say that they are hiring, but then they don't hire for the jobs they say they're hiring for. So, unfortunate. All right, you have a good one, Bank. We'll see you later. Yeah, I get what you're talking about. They won't recode it though, so there's nothing I can do about that. I do like how this thing looks with the backspacer now, though. It's a lot better than it was without it. It's amazing how much $15 can change a knife. Because it was inverted, that's exactly what it was. Somebody lost one of the first 20 Koenig Ariuses to TSA, and instead of shipping it home, they decided that they were just gonna let it go. Um, so I've got one that's glass blasted that color matches with the glass blast, but I've got another one on my other Sebenza that. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. He got it from a TSA lot. So my other Suspenza, my other Sebenza has a lightning tie backspacer. And that lightning tie wears off, so I decided I'm just not going to carry it with that. It looks a lot better in person than it does on camera. I miss carrying this knife so much. Maybe. Oh, still looks like shit. It just never looks good on camera. Just believe me when I say in person it looks so much better. Yep. It sucks when that kind of shit happens. When you know that it's going to wear off over time. I just hate knowing that, but since I've got two, I'm not super worried about it. And I can go buy another one for another $15. It's not that big of a deal. Just takes 24 days to show up from China. Yep, I was right. We may do Sticker Benza 2.0 one of these days. I want to get an Arno Bernard Orca too. But I want one in plain tie. I don't want any inlays. I don't like inlays. Let the titanium do its job. It looks good by itself. Well, it's a little more than that. It's blowtorch up until it turns blue or purple. And then you dip it in acid, and then you dip it in water and leave it in the water until it cools off. And then you need to not sterilize, there's another word. Neutralize the acid after that. And then you got to properly dispose of the waste that comes from that. You know what? If I got one in pink, I might actually keep it. But I don't like the stitch in general. It's just not my kind of design. It's kind of ugly to me. I don't have a use for a blade that's this far forward. It's just about time for me to go to bed. It was just about time for bed about 3 hours ago. And yeah, the purple on my Tidius is starting to come off, which I fully expected it to do. It'll wear off over time, and then I'll have a silver knife, and it'll be fine. I'm not going to complain about that. It'll match up with all the others. And then I might electroanodize it purple again. But we're going with a darker purple than this. This is like disappointing purple. That's the purple that I want right there. I've grown to like the larger blades, by the way. I used to say that 3 3/4 was too big, and I didn't have much use for them. And then now it's pretty much all I carry is a 3.6-inch blade. And then whatever I have on my left side. Which lately the left side carry has been the Para 3 build. I'm hoping now it'll be smoother. Now that I put the now that I ground down the washers a little bit. Abdullah, what's up? Welcome back. There's a point when the knives get to be too short. Yeah, likewise. Yeah, that's too small for an EDC for me. 2.5. Here's my range is about 2.5 to 4. I might take something that's slightly under 2.5, but I prefer that full 2.5 to 4. Squeak. Yeah, I would hope that invest is what you meant. Brookside, what's up? How's it going? It is indeed a pretty knife. Unfortunately, it needs cleaned. Taking a knife apart to clean it. I've done that twice today. Gimme. Fucking piece of shit. I don't know if there's much of a difference. I've always used the same bits, so yeah, that sounds about usual, Brookside. Yeah, they got grease all over them. I tried grease for bearings. And it works great for a little bit, and then they get kind of gummy, and then gimme. God damn, is it so hard to just let go? You know what? Don't answer that. What? Man, shut the hell up. Such a turd sometimes. Next thing you know, he's going to have a comment that says certified turd or something like that. I don't need your words of encouragement, man. Uncertified turd. That's a first. Usually you're certified in this kind of shit. Dang, that's unfortunate, man. You should get certified. I can give you a certification for that. Pretty easy to do. Yep, pretty much. Zoe, what's up? Bushcraft rebooted. Who's that? Josh, what's up? I usually tell channels by the name of the person who owns it, but not everybody wants to put their name out there. I get it. I don't particularly want my full name out there either. No, I kind of figured as much, but I don't think that I've ever seen that channel before. Then again, I don't usually watch knife content either. Oh, nice. I'm happy with purple. I just kind of wish it was a darker purple. That sucks when somebody recommends your channel and you don't know who the hell they are. And I'm not usually up at this time. I'm usually asleep by now. Oh, I'm not doing heat anodization. It started off as purple. I think I'll just leave it as purple. I might electroanodize it to a little bit darker, but other than that, I don't want to play with heat. Yeah, I've got an original Appalachian Drifter in S35. That is definitely smoother than it was. Oh. Yeah, I don't have any electronics set up either. I'm looking this guy up. Oh, okay, I know who that is. Yeah, I hop in his streams every once in a while when I should be in bed, but I'm not. Much better. Now you want to make sure you don't over tighten anything with bearings. Hmm. I wish I was asleep right now. Wish granted. Pass out. Be fucking wonderful right about now. I've been using a lot of this stuff lately. Yeah, so you didn't have to be here? That's fair. Sleep may be overrated, but still think that the dreams are better than anything that I've dealt with in real life. The fuck is that? It wasn't gritty. It just didn't close fast enough for my liking. So I took it apart, cleaned out all the grease that I put in the bearings, which wasn't very much, and then I put it back together. It wouldn't do that. Which is what was bothering me. Now it looks like we're all fine. Unfortunately, that does not work. These things suck to take apart. They Loctite the shit out of these ones. This one wasn't terrible at all. So now we're gonna let that dry. Your Boker Benza. Oh, that's about how I like it, was like that. I don't hold on to the lock very long. I hold it just barely until it moves out of the way, and that's it. I think the easiest I've ever done was probably a Spyderco Para 3. Short of having to actually pry it apart, everything came out nice and smooth because there's only 4 screws. Super, super easy. Actually, one of the easier knives to take apart is a Sebenza as well. These aren't super hard to take apart, especially when you use the tool that comes with them. Well, I've never taken a Shaman apart before. But yeah, these aren't terrible. They take like 5 or 6 minutes. Putting it back together, you got to be careful when doing that. There is a specific way you're supposed to put it back together. I think here any day now, I'm supposed to be putting a Manix 2 back together. And then an OTF of some sort. I've never played with an OTF before, so we'll see what that's like. Dalton, welcome back. Never had an issue with the button lock. No, that's not true. The mini Rhino from Jin, I had some issues with. Want to know what I do to fix that? Oh wait, that's the pin. Yeah. Damn, Spydercos are a little different, huh? I was thinking of just about every other knife where you'll take one side out and then you grab a screwdriver and you just pop it all the way through. Merry Christmas to you. Drawer question. What? Yes, the toolbox is new. It's got all the tools that I use right in here, and then the spray stuff, and usually it's got the Loctite in there as well. But the Loctite doesn't fit standing straight up, so I have to have it at an angle. Nope. That'll work. Yep, they were on sale at Harbor Freight for 15 bucks. And you know I had to get the purple one. They just came out with the purple one, so I had to get it. Hmm. Well, considering it just came out, the lowest it's ever been was the price that I got it for. The red ones were at 13, but I didn't want red, I wanted purple. So yeah, that's how the Para 3s are. Is with a 3-piece pivot. This one's a 3-piece pivot. You got the screw, the nut, and a bushing that's sitting between the blade and the scales. This fucking chair. Agreed. The 3-piece systems are pretty good for centering. This one's well centered. My other one had issues. The first Sebenza I got had, it's either a warped blade or something's wrong to where it was sitting off to the right just slightly. Once I put the backspacer on there, the other one didn't have that issue anymore. Now, one thing I've noticed that I will continue to notice with this is when you're messing around with these things, whether you like to admit it or not, dead skin comes off of your hands when you mess with stuff, and it likes to pile up on this thing right here. You can see it right there. Dust and dead skin sitting right there. And it happens every single time that I play with it. So that Sebenza was on eBay. And I didn't buy it because it ended up going for too high. I would have paid like 100 to 150 for it. It ended up selling for 310. And that's just an insane amount of money to me. I hope that that factor has good action. I've heard good things about them, but I didn't know that they sold brochures. But it didn't have that issue before I put the backspacer on. Not that I'm going to consider it an issue. All you got to do is like grab a microfiber and wipe it, and that's it. I don't really care. Exactly. You know what really sucks is this thing doesn't sit flat anymore because the backspacer made it just slightly heavier to that side. How much did you get it for? I've thought about messing with some of the Winter Blade Co. stuff, but I just haven't yet. And considering I'm trying to save up to drop my own design, I'm not going to be buying stuff for myself for a while. I'm assuming it's in M390. It's a pretty safe assumption with the, if I'm not mistaken. MagnaCut, okay. So yeah, I'll be buying and selling knives. I need to set up a Whatnot page. I have one already. I've never used it. But people here on YouTube don't want to be spending money on used knives all the time. And considering Whatnot is there specifically for you to sell shit, I'm going to say it probably wouldn't hurt. A dark fire from who? Because I don't know what that is. I'm pretty well up to date with a lot of the stuff that's going on, but I don't know about everything. Well, I don't like the fact that they have to have my driver's license photo on their third-party application website. Sure. The rest of the table is a disaster, but it holds a decent amount of knives, sitting at 1, 2, 3, 6, 11. Oh, okay, I saw that thing. Fits a lot of really good stuff in here. Medium-sized knives, large knives, and then the bottom set is a deeper drawer, so it fits more stuff. This one perfectly fits a pair of 3. And do I have a PM2 up here right now? Give me just a sec. Yep. Will it fit a PM2 in there? It does fit a PM2 in there, but it will not fit a full-size military. Yeah, the drawer liners did come with this one. It does help with the fact, like, they're cheap, but it just helps with the fact that I don't want to scratch everything up. If you place them spine down, they won't fit. The Osborne will fit just fine, but all the other ones are too tall. As for the top, the military is so big that it barely fits to begin with. Yeah, I have knives everywhere around the house. Almost wish I didn't, but I don't really care. What are they gonna do? Hurt somebody? Like, oh no, you broke into my house. Poke. Yeah. I have knives everywhere. Yeah, the thing is, I sell used knives for like 30% off because they're used. They're not like new most of the time, but stuff like this where it's got a few scratches up there and like that's about it with a brand new edge. And like this one isn't 30% off. I think it's like 15% off or something. They're 36 after shipping, brand new, and I've got it at 23, I think. Let me go check that. Yeah. I don't know. It only shows up in the right lighting. To be honest, you sit there and look at it and you can barely tell that the scratches are there. Oh, they're deep. You can feel them. Yes. Most of there's barely anything on Blade Bench. It's not that I'm trying not to give them money, but I'd much prefer to sell them myself. What's your price range if you're actually looking for something? I've got another page, so we've got an Emerson Sark at 180, a Spyderco Lil Native for 100, but it's got a name on it. I've got an MKM Isonzo. The frack I've got is black. Maniago knife makers in Italy. Now I'm a little bit wary about that. The made in Italy thing. Because apparently Italian law is different from American law. Where, yeah, this is the MKM in M390. It's adorable. Fits on the page. Yeah, Fox knives are made in yep, just under 2 inches of usable blade length. It is a Voxnez design. But I think that they're made in the same place as Fox knives and give me a sec. You get papers with it. Fox knives, lion steel, mercury, and viper. Flying Rich, what's up? But yeah, it comes with box papers and whatever came with it. And it's got a nasty little 3K edge on it. I need to post them publicly. I keep forgetting to take a picture of this. So, yeah. The Squid Holy is sold already, so I need to cross that off. If somebody reminds me just before I end the stream, which I would like to do just about any minute now. It never came with one. Comes with a pouch. You should stop giving them stuff. TSA doesn't need your knives. And probably not, because I've never heard of that knife. But yeah, that frack is nasty. Got a nasty edge left behind on that one. Kershaw. Oh, let's look this up. Yes. Prices include shipping anywhere in the US. I have never seen one of those Kershaw Westons in person before. Okay. You know it has that that name on it, right? I sharpen this right. Okay. What's the name of what? I can do that before it leaves. It's not that big of a deal. Doesn't change cost or anything. Oh, the name on the Spyderco says Jack. It says USMC Jack. Aiden, what's up? I don't know why I'm still awake. Well, I do know why I'm still awake, but I'm wishing I wasn't. Considering it's 7 a.m. already. I don't know, man. Again, I should be asleep. Did you see that I sent you a link to that Umnumzon that was 400? That's freaking low, dude. Oh yeah, you responded to it. Duh. I hate the new Instagram setup, by the way. Hot garbage. Man, it's still a good knife. Just because it's an S35 doesn't mean that it's going to be a bad knife. Use that knife until you're done with it. Then get a reblade and MagnaCut, and then you'll be happy. Josh, do you have Cash App? That is my preferred method of payment because they are less of a pain than PayPal. Well, sure, but when you're dropping $400 on S35 VN, then most people aren't very happy with that. I tend to leave my shit at like 500 to 1,000. I don't really care about anything higher than that. Well, awesome. We'll get that taken care of. You know what's funny is this is one of the last Spydercos that I have from that auction that I won. I'm surprised it's taken me so long to sell them, to be honest. Now, if I can just get rid of that Torino and start buying and selling some better knives. Oh, cool. Well, that'll just work out. Yeah, I saw that. I will go do that real quick. No, that's fair. Prices of everything have gone up lately. Not looking forward to dropping 15,000 on getting knives made. From you. Boom. For Spyderco. Ooh, wait. Used. There we go. What do you mean tariffs on the shipping? They're made over like 30 miles from where I live. Yeah, I'm not having stuff made in China. I want them local. As local as possible, anyway. You never answered my question. With 20 thou behind the edge, should I rock it at 6465 MagnaCut or 6364? No, I just don't want my design stolen and then sold on AliExpress. I think that that's fair. Oh, I was asking Aiden if he thinks that I should use MagnaCut at 63 to 64 or 64 to 65. Well, that's where I got my backspacer for my Sebenza from. I'll agree for the most part, but you guys got to keep in mind that I'd rather pay $15 for what looked to be like an original design for a backspacer instead of, what was it, $210 for one that's made in Europe instead of China. That backspacer doesn't look like I still don't know what knife you're talking about, Bobrick. MagnaCut in general is just a weird steel. Because as far as I've heard, the higher you heat treat it, the softer it gets. Like, the more bendable it gets, tougher or whatever. there's a tipping point where it goes from good edge retention to being softer in a way. And it's about the only steel I've ever heard of that does that. Okay. Here in 6 minutes, we're ending the stream, whether you guys want to or not. That's a 2-hour stream when I meant to do 30 minutes. Again. Oh, does it? He recommends 63. Thought he recommended 65. Well, if he recommends 63, I might just stick to 63 to What am I supposed to do with a phone number that has letters in it? I see. Josh, I'll get that thing shipped out on Monday. I don't think blade geometry means as much as people say it does. Like, don't get me wrong, to a point it matters, but a heat treat matters more than blade geometry when it comes to edge retention, which is what matters to me. Boker Festive. Piece of shit. Bet you that thing's heavy. See, that's a problem that people say. They act like blade geometry. I've heard this so many times that blade geometry is more important than the steel. One, bullshit. Maximate is going to be way more insane edge retention than S45. Whether you like it or not, that's true. And that doesn't really matter. 15V, same thing. Blade steel does matter quite a bit. Diva Steel. No, there's a lot of people that say that blade geometry is more important than the steel. And I don't even think that that's the only case. First of all, I don't believe that to begin with. Steel matters more than blade geometry to me. But then there's heat treat on top of that. If the heat treat's garbage, then the steel's going to be garbage too. You can get MagnaCut, but if it's at 52 HRC, it's not going to do shit. Alright, if you have any messages or anything, please send them now and I will respond to as many as possible. But I would like to end the stream here pretty soon, so that would be entertaining to watch. Okay, so he's got the blur. Oh, shit, that thing's paid. Sure, but if you've got better heat treat on the MagnaCut, I'd still go after that. I have slowly gotten to the point where price no longer matters. Don't get me wrong, value for the price matters. But at this point, I'm willing to spend just about anything on a knife that I want. I just have to wait to do it. And sell a bunch of shit sometimes. The RMX, there's a blackout version, not surprised. I don't do that. I either pay for it up front or I don't buy it. Yeah, sure, but if you're getting MagnaCut for 120 bucks, then the heat treat probably isn't there. Speaking of which, what is the Hogue Deca heat treat? $62 to $64. Okay. It just has really cheap handle materials, and they're probably made in China. I might be wrong on that one. That's funny. Oh, they're made in the US. There you go. Well, Josh, you go ahead and get your question answered, and then I'm going to head out. I don't mind having a blacked out knife, but I think I'm about done with blade coatings. Lamnia Knife Store. I'm not looking that up. Squeak. All right, guys. That's going to be it for today. Hopefully you guys have a great rest of your night, day, morning, whatever it is. I'm going to go to bed. Because fuck my sleep schedule, I guess.